Welcome back to AM Northwest. It's time to start your planting, and our friends at the Department of Agriculture are back to show what it takes to prepare for a bumper crop on a commercial farm or your own backyard.
Spring brings time to play in the dirt. It brings the beginning of our season, so we will be very busy from here on out through the end of harvest. We will first go through with a plow, then we'll come through with a disc and a harrow. So it chops up the big clumps, makes it a little smoother. We grow garlic, peas, beans, corn, grass seed, hops. Work starts now with the stringing, and then we go right into training. We went through with a tractor and crowned it. That means cutting the top of the hill off so that the new fresh vines will start growing all about the same time. We will take a clip, put it on the end of the string and poke it into the ground, and then we go right into training, which basically takes the vines that have been growing and put it on the wire that we had stuck in the ground. When the hop vines are put on it, trained onto it, the hop will eventually keep pulling it and keep the vine straight. This is our drip line that we have an emitter at every hill that a hop plant is at. We can regulate when we want it to water, how long we want it to water, and how much we want it to water. What you're looking at is our man-made reservoir. It is for our use for irrigation. The water here goes through the drip lines that you saw to water our crops. Oregon AgLink, previously known as Agribusiness Council. We do a lot with education, starting at the children level. We do the Adopt a Farmer program, which we will go into a classroom, also bring a classroom out to the farm so they can learn, ask questions, so they can get an understanding that ag is very important for food and fiber.
Right now it's a great time to work your beds, get things ready. People are planting annuals, hanging baskets. You just heard Lori talk about hops. They're stringing hops commercially. Well, that's a signal that if a farmer's doing it, it's probably good for a homeowner to do it. So, and a lot of people plant hops, not necessarily for the hops to make the beer, but as a vine. It's a very, very fast growing vine. So if you want a quick vine for shade, plant a hops. And they're perennial, they come back every year. This is the end of April, and we always get a little antsy when we have nice weather, but I would say just remember, this is Oregon, and we can also get some cool weather. So a lot of people, tomatoes, that's the most popular home vegetable plant. People are going to be buying them now, but just remember, if it gets cold, they need to be a little bit protected because they really need the heat. A lot of people here have clay, kind of heavy soil, it's not so great. I always like to work in some garden mulch. I would just get a load of garden mulch every year to work in the ground, and adding mulch will help conserve water too. Small space gardening is something I really like to emphasize because I think you can grow a lot of vegetables in containers. And let's just say you want to plant a tomato plant. So you put a tomato plant in there, and maybe herbs around the base of the pot, and you could even put a trellis up behind and let, like say, cucumbers grow up the trellis. You could have cucumbers and tomatoes and herbs all in one big pot. Pollinators are super important because we depend on them to pollinate our crops. And we were losing the source of bees and butterflies. And there's a huge movement now for people to plant natives and other plants that will attract bees, hummingbirds, butterflies back into our system. And many of them are very easy plants to grow. And there's a movement now to get monarch butterflies to kind of help them out a little bit. And you can buy a plant called Asclepias. And there's several different ones. Garden centers are carrying them now, and that is the sole source of food that a monarch butterfly needs. Another thing I really like to encourage are children to get involved in gardening. And even if you have very limited space, you can get kids involved. Show kids how to plant something from seed. You want to get a big seed, something they can easily handle. Like beans are a really good one. It comes up quickly, grows fast, and they can see the whole process.
For more information, just head to the AM Northwest section at KATU.com and click on Celebrate Oregon Agriculture.